All right. Once more, I shall make a video about the Chevy Nova. I made another one, but I realized that I didn't really get into how I made it, which is actually relatively important for this one because someone attempted to make a Chevy Nova, asked for critique, and I gave a few tips, but I thought, okay, maybe it's better if I showcase the car as a whole. So there is the person tried to use the Opel Manta body, which doesn't quite work. It's too small. Like I checked the wheelbase for the car. It's a 2.8 meter wheelbase. Um, so the Chevy, the Ford Falcon, actually, this body is perfect, except for the roof. For the roof, you have to take a look into the mods available, because there's this mod. Now, I wanted to not only make the coupe, I wanted to make the sedan as well, right? That's why and also I kind of wanted to, like, in my head canon, Brinkwood made basically a licensed version of the Chevy Nova, and but used the 72, like the 69 to 72 roofline, in combination with the 73 and onwards hatchback, which you can't really see very well. Yeah, like now you can see it, but you can only see it from specific angles that there's supposed to be the hatchback. But how the roof works, because I don't know, as far as I know, they don't come with instructions. Let me just clone this so that I can showcase it without breaking my car. You have to adapt the entire thing. Like, you're gonna see how weird magic shit happens once I reset the scale. There you go. I had to make it larger, and because this bit, I didn't want to bother with it. And since I was going to make the trim myself, because it's only available in the coupe version, as a coupe version like this, right? I had to do the trim all by myself anyways. So as you can see, the angle, I fucked up the angle. And oh crap. I really fucked up this car. Okay, the roof, I really didn't do a way too good job. I gotta admit that. But in any case, you have all these options to make the interior work. This is kind of, this specific paint slot, I don't know if it does anything with the technique that I use for these, because you do have a roof liner, but it's incomplete. Let me clone this again. There you go. Like, you see? Wait. Oh no, that's the wrong one anyways. There you go. As you can see, it doesn't do much, right? So what I do instead is I just clone the roof and make it a little bit smaller, just a little bit, right? So this is like this, and then you can get rid of the windows, of course. You only need one window plane, but you can also paint the frames in this color, which is plastic, by the way, because if this were yeah, I pressed F, by the way. Always learn the keys. Like, a few important ones are F to center on the piece that you have selected, and there's also L for locking. Like, look, this one. I'm not touching it. Boom. Right. And also mirror, M. Again, I'm not touching it. I don't know what the... Wait. Oh my god, I just learned learned more. Anyways, yeah, you can. This is also very important for if you want to work detail, because there is more 3D in there than you might expect. Anywho, like that's how you work the roof, right? And if you select this one again, like the original one, and yeah, no, and clone it. What's the shortcut for this? Anyways, because I use this all the time. Anyways, there you go. Oh, and this is a neat little detail. If you make a completely 3D car, you can paint the main body in a window, and doesn't matter how transparent you made windows. When you spawn a piece and it's window painted, which it would be automatically if the car is painted in Windows, you can see the piece then. And you have like the first thing that I do if I placed a piece, I paint it in the appropriate color, right? But that helps a lot when working with 3D. Anyways, let's get rid of this because we're done with that. The grill, yeah, the bumper was a bitch to do, because it couldn't quite make it just like by placing the bumper and have it wrap around, right? That didn't quite work, so I had to like clone piece by piece, and I don't want to click on that because it won't. Okay, let me just clone it real quick. Okay, now make the cloned piece 3D. There we go. It's angled, as you can see, right? And those are all the pieces are angled and resized a little bit to just make it work, to have this gentle curve. There you go. The grill itself, if you want to make a simpler approach, you may do so, right? But like I think you could maybe make it work with with this specific vanilla grill. Where's the vanilla grill that I mean? This one. Sure, it has like all the elements that you need, right? You can make this chromed. It would kind of work, but on regular Chevy Novas, the bottom piece, as you can see here, is painted. So if you paint this in chrome, it doesn't quite work for me, but it might work for you, right? Yeah, it might work for you, right? And you can still kind of cheat your way by having it end here, right? So that it ends here. Clone it, mirror it, make it smaller, and try to make it work here. Because as you can see, if you like, this shit doesn't work. So what you do instead, 3D, angle it a little, and as you can see, it works much better. I mean, even though I have like all my other shit now covering it, but you can see that it's not extending, it's the perfect, like that's how I would do it if I were to make it simpler than I actually did. I did this by cutting it out, all of it. I cut it all out. I did this all manually with body molding like this. This is a cutout. I placed it there, angled it here, right? Of course I did. And these little pieces here, like I just used a lot of the side protection strips. Like I use them a lot, by the way. And this is can do the same with this with this mod, basically, and just have it narrower so that you can place a round headlight in. Like in this case, I went actually relatively simple because it's so close that you don't see, right? So that's why I just placed my headlight inside, and the bezel itself is so wide, so wide set inside that the back plate is not interfering with the reflector, right? Because this is 3D. I don't like to place headlights on vintage cars in 2D because they will follow the shape, but and it's, you might think, it's no big deal, but even in a subtle situation like this, you would just see it subconsciously. Like you can see from, like if you look from this angle, that like there's a, you know what I mean? Like there's this curve, and you just see it, and you see that the headlight is not curved, and that helps a lot when selling your design. Another neat little trick, because there's no real mod for vintage quick release thingies. So when you want to make a muscle car, you always have to make like a base model. So what I did, I used the air connector. I don't know what pack it was, at some racing pack, I think. You use the air connector, right? Place it wherever. Clone it in place. Switch to this piece, this one, which is, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to touch it. It's right where it belongs. You just place it there. You don't place it at all. It's cloned in place, so it's where it should be. But it will be under the hood of the car, because this is just, it would be like this, right? Like this it would be, I think. Anyways, then you just click on 3D and push it out a little bit with the arrow. I don't know if, don't move stuff about with your mouse. Use the arrows, and if you just pull it out with the arrow, it will go straight up. It's all fine. It's all good. And use this little piece and put it in place, and there you go. You have a quick release like on a vintage muscle car. The back is fairly straightforward, and that's also where the Opel Manta body really fails, because you have this gentle curve going down, right? And here it's a very smooth back, right? But the Manta has like a really hard cam back, so it doesn't work. Yeah, and I made my taillights with the grill. Like I placed this, and it was fine, but I hated it at the same time. It wasn't enough, so I just used it for the chrome bezel. And then I just placed 3 times these pieces, you know, like yeah, like I made this manually. This is like 3 grill bits next to each other. The grill shallow, it's set in a little bit. Great if you want to make custom headlights or taillights. And I just choose the appropriate reflector, and I use these little not grills, vents to give it more like a, like on old cars they had sometimes these they're supposed to protect from dirt somehow. Like dirt doesn't stick to it, which is weird. But anyways, I think that's about it. Again, as always, I hope you learned nothing, and